Warning: the opinions expressed in this video do not represent YouTube, associations, agencies, or any particular individuals. They are merely from two guys needing to pass the boredom of their average day lives. Some explicit content may occur in this or future presentations. Viewer discretion may be advised, but ignored if you're into that thing. How's it going, everybody? I'm Wildman Wes.
I'm the Big Bad Wolf Benny.
And welcome to another edition of the Wild Wolf Show. Well, we've shown you some interesting movies in the last couple reviews that we've done, and today we've decided to do one that's near and dear to our hearts for some good reasons and obviously
a lot of bad
reasons. And we made a nod to it a little bit in our last episode of Super Troopers when I made an infamous quote from the movie Judge Dredd. I am the law!
Yes.
So we are going to be doing the 1996 film Judge Dredd.
And don't worry, guys. Shortly after we're done with this episode, part 2 of this one will be Dredd. Yeah. Carl Urban. I hope that's how I say your name, brother. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We're not English majors. We're barely average intelligent males. So we'll give you that.
Yeah. So let's just give you a little basic summary of the movie. It starts off in Mega City, where it's a dystopian universe. A lot of crime going on, and the only people that are in charge are the judges. They basically will judge you no matter what you do, whether it's drunk driving, littering,
anything. Basically, judge, jury, and executioner. If your crimes are so bad, they have the power to execute you on the spot.
Oh yeah.
Their word is final. You can try to plead your case, but most of the time, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and out of all these judges, we have the iconic hero of the comic book.
Maybe anti-hero we'll go with.
Yeah, anti-hero. Yeah, he's the law.
He's the law.
You're going to be hearing that a
Judge
lot.
Dredd. Feared by many, known by all.
And only loved by few.
Respected by all his colleagues. But he's definitely that stereotypical loner badass. I could take on the world and kick its ass.
And by the book. He's by the book.
And we'll bring that up later about being by the book. It's basically a brief summary. We're not going to stay long with this one. Is he gets framed, he goes to jail, he escapes from jail, he comes back, he takes down the bad guys.
And he's got to deal with really annoying people in the movie in the process. Rhyme Shider!
Yes, yes. He's definitely made in the list, but pretty simple premise. Good guy gets framed for murder, goes to jail, escapes from jail, comes back, saves the day, gets put back on the force, and they go on with their day. It's a pretty simple premise.
Yeah. And for the 90s, it was a really great movie. Give or take, some of the acting we could have done without. The special effects, like we had mentioned in our Mortal Kombat episode in the beginning, the special effects in the early 90s, it was in its infancy. In 1996, a lot of movie companies definitely got the ball rolling with the special effects.
I'm not gonna lie, the special effects, the sets, the costumes, everything was good.
Oh yeah,
really was. That's where it probably saved the movie. Was everything looked comic book accurate.
Well, even the animatronics with the ABC Warrior.
The ABC Warrior. Now we were talking about it earlier. How we goofed about how he sort of has Goro's face. I would not doubt it if they used that as Goro's face. It'd be funny. We have to look into that. I don't know if you guys know.
And once again, at least he didn't look like a fucking Muppet.
Yes. At least in this one, it was believable because he was a robot. He's this giant tank of a robot, Definitely, he plays the part of bodyguard in the movie. He definitely looks at, he's definitely top-heavy. He picks people up. That's what he does. Basically...
automatic guns in his hands.
Yeah, he's a pretty badass robot. Let's not lie.
Yeah.
You want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's just jump into the 5 good and 5 bad on this movie.
Doing pretty good on time.
I think so.
Moving along. We're going to try to keep it short and sweet from now on, unless it's a really good topic and you want us to go in depth about it, but we don't want to ruin the movie for you. I had somebody who watched it, one of my friends from work, well, you kind of ruined the movie because you told us the story. I'm like, you've seen the movie.
Hey, everybody's known to spoiler.
But hey, you know what? You know what? That's good. At least somebody's giving us some criticism.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all you guys who watch the videos and leave us nothing. Tell us how you feel.
It's okay. Sometimes, silence is golden sometimes.
I'm an attention whore, okay, guys? I need it.
Yeah, trust me, I deal with it every day.
I need it.
Well, let's get into the top 5 good things of Judge Dredd. I am the law.
Number 5. on the good side of Judge Dredd. You might not think it's a good thing, but to me and my friend here, it's a very good thing. No sequel. We talked about this earlier. Sequels can kill movies. There's only a few sequels that actually can surpass the original. Thank God they decided not to because, well, we'll get into the bad stuff, but they definitely like, you know what, let's not continue. This movie was not that great. It's lucky it was a successful
Let's hope Super Troopers 2, actually, as we mentioned in the last episode.
Sequels can be killers.
Let's hope it does well.
Sequels can, especially after this time frame.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if they had done a sequel for this Judge Dredd with Sly Stallone, don't get me wrong, Stallone is good in what he does in some aspects. With the Expendables, he's awesome. Rocky, up until Rocky 5, phenomenal.
Even Rocky Balboa wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that wasn't
better than
bad.
Rocky 5. That's why we like to say Rocky 5 is kind of like the ugly bastard child, stepson. He's there, you kind of acknowledge him, but you really don't want to.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, even the Rambo series is pretty good, too. I mean, Rambo 3...
Rambo 3,
Rambo 3, I mean, when he had the perm and everything,
and plus, like, you know, why did they switch it from, you know, Thailand, Vietnam to Afghanistan?
Well, if you think about it, it was
kind of movie-wise, yeah.
With the times, with the whole, at the end of the Ayatollah and all that.
So it makes sense, but again, I would rather stay, you know, he's a desert. He doesn't fight in the desert, he fights in the jungle. I mean, that whole scene in Rambo Part 2 where he's like knocking off the Russians in the Vietnam, like, you know, as he's using the forest to do it is just like phenomenal.
Covered in mud,
hiding in mud.
That was cool. I like
that's cool. But we're getting off topic. We're talking about another episode probably in the future, so stick around.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, thank God there's no sequel. Didn't need it.
Yeah, and plus, you know, I don't think I could have handled another movie of nothing more than I am the law, and I knew you'd say that.
Literally, like every scene, he says, I either am the law or I knew you'd say that. It's just like, all right, we get it. You got a catchphrase.
Yeah, and we'll get into that later on as well.
Yeah.
So, that being said,
let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to something, some more good stuff. I am the law. So number 4 on our good list of Judge Dredd has to deal with the villains of the film. Armand Assante has been known to do a little bit of overacting in some of the films that he's done, but him as Rico in Judge Dredd, I have to say, is probably one of the best performances I've ever seen with overacting.
It really is. I mean, we'll go back to the overacting or underacting later, but like his overacting was so over the top, it actually like showed you just how crazy Rico was. So...
and plus in comic book films, the villain kind of has to be a little bit egocentric and very over the top. I mean, look at Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor in the original Superman films. Perfect. He is campy, and it worked. And it worked for the time.
It did. And no, Rico's character, he's supposed to be, you know, in the movie, which they kind of stray away from the source material. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but he and Judge Dredd are technically brothers genetically. Judge Dredd was cloned to be this perfect judge. You know, he's got all the strengths of the good judges, none of their weaknesses.
The only problem is he doesn't have the ability to speak legibly or understandably. I love you, Sly, but man, half the time I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
And then Rico was kind of like a side effect. Like, I guess there was a twin. Supposed to be, they sort of look alike. He kind of pass off. I guess I'll give it to him. But at the same time, so he's like, he got like the leftover stuff. He's still got some good stuff in there because he's an effective judge. But he's kind of crazy, which crazy is awesome.
Yeah, even Freud would say he has issues.
He was good though. I mean, like he played his card. Like I said, it's very campy, but it works.
Yeah. Well, and also the Chief Justice that, well, not necessarily the full-on Chief Justice that was played by Max von Sydow, but the other chief that turns
takes over.
He turns on everybody. And I can't remember his name. However, I do know he is the bad guy in Beer Fest.
Yes.
From the German family.
Yes, he is. So there you go. Look at that. We're tying everything together.
Yep. And actually, I know we're going off topic, but tying in James Raymars at the beginning of this film.
That's right. We talked about him. He was Lord Raiden in Annihilation.
And he was Ajax in the Warriors.
We haven't talked about the Warriors yet.
Keep in mind, we do tie in a whole lot of things together. And who knows? We may even do a little spin-off of like movie conspiracies for all we know.
Ooh, look at that.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Now we're thinking. Yeah. Maybe we are a little bit smarter than average people.
Who knows? I am the law.
So number 3 on the good side of Judge Dredd, we already talked about it briefly. The sets, the costumes, all the effects, they were all great. Like we were telling you earlier, like that's when all that stuff was kind of new. Some of the stuff, you know, the practical effects, not new, but they upgrade how to do them.
Hollywood Pictures that did Judge Dredd definitely looked at a lot of movies prior to theirs from 1990 all the way up to 1996, and they realized what could work and what won't work, and most of the things that they did worked.
They figured out.
And I loved how with the judges, with their costumes or their armor and whatnot, it looks very, you know, imperialistic.
Oh, yeah.
It has a nod to kind of like Star Wars in a way because of that dystopian universe where
they definitely, you know, they're in charge. Let's put it that way. You look at them and you're like, yeah, I need to listen to this dude or this female because they can kill me basically as long if I do something stupid. So
well, and even in the average people walking around Mega City,
they're afraid of them.
Well, if you look at their wardrobe, it looks very, you know, modern to like the '90s standards. Of course, you know, with the vehicles, same type of situation. However, there are that futuristic special effects to kind of say. They
want you to know
they're not getting with the times because they want to be more reminiscent of a time when things were actually simple.
So and then for the viewers too, this was like, oh yeah, like when he blows up like the convertibles.
Oh,
you know,
the DUI.
The DUI one, yeah. But you could tell it's supposed to be a sports car. It's just, you know, it's got the futuristic look to it. So they tried to do it so, you know, the audience, not saying we as the audience are not intelligent, but they want to make it easier for us to enjoy the movie. Like, oh yeah, so that's an expensive car. This guy's, you know, probably rich. He's got another DUI. No big deal. We understand because you know, some of us may have gone through it or know somebody who's gone through it or heard stories about it. So they're trying to make it easier for the audience to understand the movie.
Yeah,
is basically what they're doing. So hey, not to the filming crew there, you know, keeping it simple. I love it.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That will do.
I am the law.
So number 2 on our good side of Judge Dredd has to be the performance of Max von Sydow. I have loved his performances in a lot of movies that he's done. He's most known for his performance as Father Merrin in The Exorcist. And I mean...
That alone, I mean, that's one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
And we'll get into that during Shocktoberfest, don't you worry.
Shocktoberfest is coming.
Oh, yeah,
and then you may know him recently from Ted. They talk about Flash Gordon. He was Ming. He was Emperor Ming.
Death to me!
So, you new generation, if you've never heard of him, you kind of have if you've seen Ted or Ted 2.
And unfortunately, back in 1980 when Flash Gordon came out, the critics really panned the movie.
This movie is definitely going to be on one
The
of our
only thing that saved Flash Gordon back then was the soundtrack from the band Queen.
Yes.
And unfortunately, due to that movie being panned, it kind of put a damper on Max von Sydow's career. He didn't do a whole lot of mainstream movies at the time, but he was able to be in a lot of films that were kind of off the cuff, that weren't all that great, but his performance definitely saved the movie to an extent. And I mean, and he's still doing a lot of work right now.
Yeah,
he recently did the cameo in the opening of The Force Awakens.
He did.
And I mean, it was sad that, you know, he didn't have a more pivotal part in the film.
But I love him in Strange Brew. I love him in Strange Brew.
I totally forgot about Strange Brew.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that then.
Yeah, he's in Strange. He's the Beermeister.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go. That's another one we'll probably talk about.
The more you know. The more you know.
I am the law.
Number 1 on the good side, the opening sequence.
Yeah.
It's narrated by the classic James Earl Jones, and there's a funny moment where he says there's a force. Darth Vader says there's the force, so it's kind of entertaining. It really is a little inside joke, probably.
I know.
But then you switch over, you see Rob Schneider, who probably kind of ruins it a little bit. I'm not saying I hate Rob Schneider, but you have to pick your moments with this man. So he goes to his new living quarters.
Making movies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's going to his new living quarters, and he walks in, and there's like a gang of guys in there, all with guns.
Led by James Remar.
James Remar.
We mentioned that earlier.
We talked about it earlier, so this is his little scene in it. And basically, like, you know, there's a riot going down. They're shooting down, killing people. The judges show up. It's cool because you see Diane Lane's Hershey, and then she has like a little rookie with her. And he's trying to like tell her how to do stuff. She's like, no, get down. We call for backup.
Yeah, stupid rookies.
In comes in Dredd. He's like standing there as the people are shooting at him. And like the rookie's just like, he's a sitting duck.
No, he knows what he's doing.
And then sure enough, he walks over. He's like, these are these kinds of guns. They're shooting these kinds of bullets. they're 300 meters away. They only have an effective lethality of 200 meters. It's like, damn, bro.
200 meters. They got flares going over here. 300 meters. Grenade.
That's literally how Sly sounds. I love you, guy. There's some movies I can understand you completely, and there's some movies I'm just like, if I wasn't Italian, I wouldn't know what you were talking about.
Let's put it this way. Because of Sylvester Stallone, I have to sometimes watch movies with the captions on. So thank you, Sly, for making me feel deaf.
You know what, though? Sometimes, though, that helps, because sometimes there's so many movie quotes that are misquoted because you can't understand. So that actually does help sometimes. Don't knock it.
Oh, hey, yeah, it definitely sets up people for like the Mandela effect.
The Mandela, ooh.
Which we'll get into those at some point. There's been a lot of YouTubers out there that have been already doing videos on the
One
Mandela
of our
effect.
favorites, the angry video game nerd. Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, James Rolfe, you are the man.
I will shout out for you.
You are the man.
Check him out, guys. He's got a channel too. He's awesome.
Cinemassacre.
Yes, check it out. And if you guys want to, check it out. Like, throw our names down. Maybe he'll like mention us. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's our cheap ploy. But
that's our cheap ploy. Hey, I'm not gonna be.
We just want to be friends with everybody.
I do. I mean, I want to talk about stuff that I love. He loves movies like us. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down if you're down. So. Cool. Well, we've discussed the 5 top good things.
And now we move on to the top 5 bad things. And trust me, it was hard to condense this. The 5 things.
If you remember, if you had seen our episode on Super Troopers, it was a very awesome movie, and there was a lot of great things, and a lot of things that we couldn't
really
say bad about it.
We really had to nitpick that
Now
movie.
it's time to role reverse. There was some good things in this movie, and we had to try to figure out what was good. We had a lot of things to say bad about this movie.
There's so many bad things. And I mean, like I said,
we had to condense that one too. I mean, we almost got into a fist fight over this stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about, this is going on. This like, no, I want this on the list.
It was.
So we had to find 5 things that we agreed on, and we finally found them. And I mean, yeah.
So let's get to it.
I am the law.
So number 5 on our bad list on Judge Dredd. You may actually not like the fact that it's this low on the list, but we just want to get it out of the way like a bad Band-Aid on a wound. Rob fucking Schneider.
Again, I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He's not. It's not that I'm saying he's not a funny guy.
No.
Just this. There's, like I said, you have to pick and choose your battles with this man.
And in certain movies, certain people work, and in this case,
it didn't.
I mean, he tried to give comic relief, but it was kind of shoving it down our throat. I felt like half the time when I was watching the movie, I was thinking, am I watching Dredd or am I watching a skit from Saturday Night Live?
Well, the bad thing is too. I mean, the way Sly delivers some of his lines, they're funny in their own right. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be serious, but it's just like, okay, I get you're a serious character, and trust me, from the comics, Dredd has no sense of humor and dry at best.
Yeah,
and this is just like he was like funny. Like he had his funny moments. Just like, you know what? No,
it didn't work for me. I mean, when you put a lot of comedians in with action stars,
you have that ego thing where it's like, I'm gonna one up you because I can be funny too.
And there's two different like examples I can think of. Superman 3, when they brought in Richard Pryor to go up against like Christopher Reeves. I mean, Richard Pryor was an amazing comedian. He broke barriers. He broke barriers with race. Everything.
He's one of the best. He's still one of the best to this day. I mean, you ask any comedians now. Yeah, you ask any active comedian now. I guarantee you, Richard Pryor will be in their top 5.
And unfortunately,
of all time.
Because of his type of humor back in the 60s and 70s, they watered him down in Superman 3, so it didn't really work out as well. And you look at the movie like The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis. They had Chris Tucker come in and play an annoying kind of MC.
But you know what? It worked.
I mean,
why? Because that's what you expect from Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I mean, that one I will say, that example actually works because Bruce Willis has been known to do a lot of funny things.
Bruce Willis is a funny man himself.
When he voiced over Mikey in the Look Who's Talking films, that was humor beyond all recognition.
Everybody wants to say, Die Hard. That thing, you say Bruce Willis, you think Die Hard, which I'm not going to lie, that's the first movie that comes to mind,
For me, I still think Pulp Fiction.
See, I like that too, but then again, that's another action movie. Suspense, whatever, drama, however we want to call it.
Yeah.
But there's action in it, I mean, shit.
That'll probably be one of our longest reviews.
Yo, goddamn. We gotta go through every individual episode in that movie. I think any Quentin Tarantino movie is gonna,
Oh, yeah.
So, Quentin Tarantino, we thank you. You're gonna have probably our longest episodes.
But Rob Schneider, shame on you for making the list. Sorry, Jericho.
I am the law.
Number 4 on the bad side for Judge Dredd is source material. I'm a big comic book guy. Obviously, you know, I do my comic book corner. You can check those out down below.
Yeah, I'm going to let him take this number right now because I haven't really read a whole lot of the Judge Dredd comics. But he's the master on this one. He's the Brody Bruce of this group right here.
Let's put it this way, all right? There's one thing that you could have done in this movie besides the whole genetic thing, which never really happened. He was just an ordinary dude. In the comics, Judge Dredd is never without his damn helmet.
That thing I do.
Never without his helmet. And if you did see him without his helmet, you never saw his face. He was in the shadows. You saw just where the helmet would stop. This movie, it's Sly. Sly didn't want to cover his face up.
Everybody has to see his sad puppy dog expression.
And then he had the contact lenses in because he's actually got those the brown eyes. He had blue eyes in this one. So he's wearing contacts because...
I had to watch the movie a couple times just to... When you mentioned that, I had to go back and watch that and go, holy shit, he does.
But, yeah, no, that was my big thing. Like, I liked the lawgiver, how when if somebody else tried to grab his gun, it's supposed to blow up. And the one scene the guy grabbed it, he got electrocuted. There was one scene where somebody grabbed it and his hand did blow off. But the first time you see it, somebody just gets electrocuted. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But no, the biggest stinker of it all was
It wasn't even a good death. It wasn't even, I don't even put that on the kill count.
Nah. Because he might not have died. He might have just been stunned. He might have just been like a taser. But no, my biggest thing was the helmet thing. He wears it in the beginning for, you know, the opening sequence for 10 minutes, and then he wears it at the end after he saved the day.
Yeah.
For the last 2 seconds of the movie. So, let's see. 10 minutes and 2 seconds of hour and a half, hour and 36 minutes movie.
Give or take.
It's no good. I'm sorry. I'm a big... If you're going to do comic book movies...
Do it right.
Stick to the material that works. It's worked. Why do you think these comics sell? That you can make movies based off them. The properties work. Don't change it up. I mean, there's some things I'll give some comic book movies. They change the mythos up a little bit, but they kind of try to keep it the same. I'm trying to think of a perfect example. Perfect example. Ang Lee's 2003 Hulk movie. That's a stinker in itself. But the whole David Banner thing where his dad became the Absorbing Man, no, that mythos doesn't work.
You want to know something real honest about me? I went to go see that movie at the drive-thru.
I'm sorry.
No. It was a double feature. It was Finding Nemo and the Hulk. The movie was so bad, I fell asleep halfway through, and we left the drive-thru.
That's bad.
Or the drive-in, you know. It was bad. It was just bad.
But no, so there's a perfect thing where they try to change the mythos up. Oh, because it's in their blood, his dad would be able to get hit by gamma radiation and turn into... And they turn him into the Absorbing Man? Make him like a Hulk-like creature. Let's see like the Hulk and another abomination fight happen. Don't give him the Absorbing Man. And then there's a scene where he gets electrocuted and he turns into Zaz. It's like they try putting too much. That's
10 pounds in a 5-pound
bag. We've brought this up so many times.
Yeah.
So we're just going to stop with it right there is leave the comic books alone. They work. They're selling. That is why you can make a movie based on a comic book, because the properties sell. You don't have to try to change it up. And if you do, minor details that, was that how it was in the comics? We're going to say yeah, because it works. I don't want some big new thing where it's just like, well, I guess it could work, and then it doesn't because, you know, you want what the comics were giving you. That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
So we're just going to end it on that note. Leave the comic books alone. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, but apart from the source material, there is one in particular thing that's a little worse than that on our top 5 bad list.
I am the law.
Number 3 on our bad list of Judge Dredd is one of the producers, Edward R. Pressman. Now, don't get me wrong. He has produced a pretty decent amount of good films. He produced Conan the Barbarian. He produced American Psycho. He produced The Crow. Then you go into the movies that
didn't work.
Masters of the Universe.
Oh God. Yeah. For watching that.
And now Street Fighter.
Oh no.
And like I said, The Crow. He also produced The Crow 2 through 4.
So that's kind of
The
again,
third Crow movie was all right. It took a different turn. I liked
sequels,
it.
people. You see what I'm saying? Sequels.
But Crow City of Angels and Crow Wicked Prayer. I'm sorry. In the fourth one, David Boreanaz couldn't even save that one from. Yeah.
He tried. Oh, he tried.
No, but Eddie Furlong, I'm sorry. You know, you were good as John Connor in Terminator 2, and after that, I'm sorry, dude.
He was good in American History X too.
Okay, I'll give him that. But
I'll give him that. But again, he was working with Edward Norton, so I mean,
that probably messed with his head a little bit because I've heard he's not that great to work with. But and Eddie Furlong had some personal demons, and Eddie,
hey, you don't feel bad, guy.
We love you, man. We hope you get back on track, and hopefully things get better for you and for your career. Because man, you had a really great run in the beginning.
Just a quick thing too, guys. If we bring up somebody's past, you know, especially talking about their demons. We all have demons, trust me. Neither of us can say we are fucking perfect anywhere near it.
I'm not perfect.
Oh, God, I'm a raging alcoholic.
Not even Kurt Hennig was perfect, even though he was Mr.
Mr. Perfect, maybe the closest thing we've had to perfection, though.
True. But
I'll give him that.
But yeah, I mean, anytime that we've anytime we say anything about somebody's personal life or career-wise, it's not trying to be making fun of them.
We want them to get better.
Yeah, we do.
Want them to come
really
back.
do.
Like we said,
it's sad to see people falter. You know, but it's even sweeter to see them pick themselves back.
Look at perfect Robert Downey Jr., guys.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm proud of that guy.
Yeah,
I'm proud of him.
God, dude, look, we wouldn't have a Marvel Cinematic Universe without him. I mean,
True.
He came back, and everybody's like him for Tony Stark. He lived that life as Tony Stark. I mean, the money, the drugs, the women. He did all that stuff. Like,
and I'm sure Edward Pressman still does all that today, and doing a coin toss on good and shitty movies. And whatever movies I see his name on now, all I can do at the beginning of the movie is grab a coin and be Harvey Dent and try to flip it, and hopefully it'll land on the good side. So, speaking of that, we got to get back to the bad side.
Yeah.
I am the law.
Number 2 on the bad side, guys. We brought it up already. Acting. There's the overacting, there's the underacting, there's just the acting that's just stale.
And there's the what the fuck are you doing?
Right? I mean, the overacting, Sly definitely overacted this movie. He took it way too serious, which again, you want Dredd to be serious, but like, he did it so comedically. It's just like, I'm telling you, watch the movie and wait for the first, I am the law, and just the way he says it. Yeah. You're just like, all right, I can't take it serious.
And granted, I'm an actor by trade. I'm not the greatest actor in the world. You might have even seen some of my impersonations of Morgan Freeman on my little sideshow. I'm not the greatest at it, but I'm still working on it. But even I know when it comes to an action film, you You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't have done that. You're just a boy, a poor little feller.
There were some actors in the movie, like I said, Rico. He overacted, but it worked. So it's a gamble. Sometimes you want to put more into a character and it works, and then sometimes you put too much into a character and it's just like, if you would just play it down a little bit, not as crazy, maybe a little mad, but not crazy.
Yeah.
Could have worked.
And then I think, and also kind of like what you had mentioned before about the interactions between Rob Schneider and Sly Stallone. It was when
egos. Egos take over, and trust me when I say too, egos. We know.
Oh.
I mean, come on, guys. Like,
fucking A.
I'm definitely trying to get you guys to like me. I want you guys to like my page. I want fans.
We both do.
We do. But I mean, shit. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, and
everybody's got an ego. So I mean, just then you have egos that are on celebrity status, where they're millionaires, probably billionaires. Some of them.
I hope I never get that way. I hope we never get like that, man. I really hope we don't. Because apart from that, with the bad acting at times in the movie,
the fight choreography. I knew you were going for it.
I mean, when I was in college, I talked to some of my friends that were in stage combat, and we would watch this movie and laugh about how just atrocious some of the fight scenes are. I mean, it's one thing to totally, edit the film to make it look like somebody's really getting hit. There are times where even in a lot of movies with Sly Stallone, he's actually gotten himself hurt. He broke his ribs in the first Rambo film when he fell through the trees. Didn't he get knocked out by somebody at one point? Well, in Rocky IV.
Rocky IV, he told Dolph Lundgren, big-ass Dolph Lundgren, who's a professional fighter, mind you. He was a karate champion, I want to say in Sweden, where he's from.
I believe so.
And so he knows how to throw a punch good. Now, Stallone knew how to box, So, I mean, they're going boxing, but he told him to hit him hard. He hit him in the chest so hard.
Yeah.
He basically gave him like a little cardiac arrest. You know, he had like a little minor heart attack.
Well, that's what they get for marrying the same woman at one point or another.
Well, that's what happens. Bridget Nielsen.
I must break you.
Bridget Nielsen. Yes, we love you.
Kinda.
I am the law.
So number one on the bad side of Judge Dredd. We mentioned it a little bit ago, and it's about time. We thought Rob Schneider might be a little higher on the list, but no, this one takes a little more precedent. Catchphrases.
Oh,
we mentioned this in Mortal Kombat at one point, and
We did.
this one. The catchphrases in this one make Mortal Kombat look like an Academy Award-winning film.
Yeah, just like I said, we said it earlier. I mean, I am the law, or I knew you would say that. Every scene slides in. He says,
You betrayed the law.
law. Yes.
And if you look up,
He says law. There's actually a drinking game.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. We were gonna play it before we did
We've
this.
played it before.
We played it
We
before.
played it before, like what, 4 years ago we did? And
Yeah.
we could barely stand.
Yeah, we went through 2 cases of beer.
Give or take, yeah.
And I mean,
me, and a couple other people. I can't remember who it was.
I think
but
Josh might have been there.
Josh, maybe Ray, I think.
No, I think it might have been the Mexican Connection.
Oh, Mountax.
Yeah, Mountax, yeah.
Mountax. Holy shoot, man, we need to see them.
Yeah,
again
we
sometime.
do. So if you guys are watching, I love you.
Yeah, we both do.
We love you, poppies. But it was just so overdone. Like Stallone says law on every goddamn scene,
Yeah.
and it's just like, all right, we get it. You're a judge. You follow the law.
The name of
Serve
the
law.
name of the movie shouldn't have even been
It
Judge
should be
Dredd.
called law.
Yeah, just law.
Like, but
Yeah.
it's a face planter. I mean, like, we have to go through again and just count how many times he says it.
Yeah.
So this way we can prepare to have that much beer. So when we play it, we don't run out. So otherwise, we got to pause the
Yeah.
movie. We got to drink and drive, which is never good.
Yeah,
so
no, do not.
don't do. That's why we actually we planned it out. We planned it out. So we're like, all right, like I'm gonna drink this much, you're gonna drink this much, and like we're gonna need 2 cases.
Well, and apart from law being overused in that movie, the phrase "I knew you'd say that," I knew you'd say that.
There was only one time when it worked, and it came from Diane Lane when she was mocking him. I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
And it works. It works because like you could definitely tell she was tired of hearing it.
It was a big fuck you to Sly.
It really
It was
was.
awesome. Well, that wraps up our review on the first Judge Dredd. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you got anything that you'd like for us to do in the future, leave a comment in the section below. Tune in next time, and we're going to be focusing on Dredd. Until next time, I'm Wildman Wes,
And I'm the big bad wolf Benny.
and we'll see you next time on The Wild Wolf Show.
Ah!